So if you are a holder of Rivian stock, I already know that you did not like the earnings. Take a look at this article right here. Rivian lays off 10% of workforce as Lucid production underwhelms. Elon Musk even expects to see bankruptcies in the EV space. You can't act like you're not surprised, especially if you saw my last video for Rivian. I told you that the market in Rivian was looking weak. Take a look. We did a price prediction in Rivian right here on like mid-January, and the market has exceeded our ultimate TP price. The heads up was already on the charts. It didn't take us listening in on the earnings call to figure out that Rivian was weak. It didn't require that. The chart was already letting us know that someone on the inside knew that something was changing within the market in Rivian. Something changed. And it happened like in the beginning of January to where the market gapped down. It told you then that there was issues within Rivian. But you have so many people rely on these earnings reports to try to give you a clue as to what the business is doing fundamentally, right? When in the end, the chart always speaks before earnings. When this earnings report came out, that is why the market in Rivian just literally hung out around $28 because people put their investment decision on pause. They're like, okay, let me wait because I'm not really confident that the market in Rivian is going to go higher above $28. But let's just see what happens on earnings. And then it completely crashes. And it's been a crash ever since the market in Rivian was launched on the exchange. Take a look. The charts is not lying. This chart literally is telling you that there's problems at Rivian. If it wasn't problems, the market would be looking like Nvidia stock. Look at Nvidia. This is how a flourishing business looks from a market's perspective. People are throwing money at Nvidia. They ain't throwing the money in Rivian. Charts is not lying, right? So pay attention to the chart. That is going to give you the first clue as to what the market perceives as valuable. Because right now, it's not in the EV space. Now, EV startups Rivian and Lucid sank Thursday after both companies reported fourth quarter earnings and revenue late Wednesday and announced they are not ramping up production in 2024. Rivian reported Wednesday a loss of $1.36 per share in the fourth quarter, with sales doubling to $1.31 billion. Rivian also said that it expects production of 57,000 vehicles, remaining flat compared to 2023. The EV startup also predicts consumer and commercial vehicle deliveries to grow by low single digits in 2024. So they're not doing a lot. That's what they're saying. A lot is not going to go down in Rivian this year. So don't expect they blow our earnings. The company also announced that it predicts vehicle deliveries in the first quarter of 2024 to be about 10 to 15% lower than in the fourth quarter of 2023, and that it is laying off 10% of its salaried workers. Issues at the business: lower production, laying off employees equates to a weak stock. Simple. If the company is predicting lower production in the first quarter of 2024 the first quarter of 2024 compared to last quarter 2023, and then you're going to come out and say you're laying off 10% of your workforce. Yeah, it doesn't look good. Elon Musk also weighs in on Rivian stock. Tesla chief executive Elon Musk posted on X, formerly Twitter, late Wednesday that based on Rivian's quarterly cash on hand, the company could go bankrupt in around 6 quarters. Maybe that trajectory will change, but So far, it hasn't, Musk said. Let Musk talk about your situation and make it not be good. That could also put a dent on your reputation as a business. Musk talking about your business affairs, that should make Rivian even that more amplified to try to get them out this rut that they're in. Because Elon is their competition. He's gone through that stage to where Tesla could have gone bankrupt. But luckily, he had the community of investors who loved Tesla that kept it afloat. I don't think Rivian has that base. They don't have that base of community members who is gung-ho about Rivian and will hold on to the stock even when the market doesn't look good. That could be, if Rivian does go bankrupt, the cause is because there wasn't a community built around this EV maker, unlike it was with Tesla. So maybe the CEO of Rivian, maybe Jeff Bezos, needs to be more of a formidable player in the front and start drumming up positive promotions about Rivian. Like, that's not a bad idea. Just like Elon has done with Tesla. He needs to start, I'm talking about the CEO of Rivian needs to start putting Tesla on blast and show how their EV vehicle is better. This is the competitive landscape now. It's that you need to drum up on social media people's positive perception of your car versus other vehicles. Because right now, Tesla runs supreme. There hasn't been a formidable player out yet to put Tesla in its place. And when you got Elon Musk at the helm, you need to come with a fire game. You need to come hotter than Elon will come at you. Because seemingly it looked like he has no filter on his mouth. And these other CEOs, they do. They're real careful in how they respond to tweets, to questions that's being asked of them in interviews, earnings reports. Like, they trying to keep this perception up that since I'm at the top of this business, I got to act a certain way. When you have people like Elon Musk, Donald Trump, just acting all types of ways, and people are accepting it. So maybe we are seeing the landscape change on how CEOs should act. Rivian CFO Claire McDowell told investors Wednesday the company remains confident that our cash equivalents, and short-term investment can fund the operations through 2025. Of course he'll say that, especially after the earnings were dismal. Of course, if you're on a team that's losing, you're not going to come out and say, yeah, we suck. Yeah, we have one of the worst teams out here right now in this space. I don't know how we're going to turn this around. No. Even when the situation looks dire, you'll still try to come out and put something positive, a positive spin on your situation. That's the name of the game. But maybe they need to go on the offensive. Rivian stock plunged 25.7% during Thursday's market action. Meanwhile, Lucid stock dove 17%. Musk took to X once more Thursday afternoon, claiming that Rivian needs to cut costs massively and the executive team needs to live in the factory or they will perish. They'll shut the doors. Yeah, drastic measures. And Elon is like, we'll see. Show me what you're working with. Show me what you got. Show me if you really sold on Rivian. Because in order for you all to stay alive, y'all gonna have to stay in the factory and continue to work and work and work. And you need to cut these costs. I've been there before. That's what Elon Musk is trying to give him a heads up. I did this. I've been there. I've lived it. Now, will Rivian listen? We'll see. Now, here's the chart. Okay, let's get back to it. We're going to talk about the price prediction now in Rivian. You guys can see, hit our ultimate TP price yesterday. which is around 19.88%. Not a surprise. Let's go ahead and get rid of it. Let's go ahead and get rid of these buy zones here in Rivian. Okay. So now we are going to create a sell zone. Okay, this is where we suspect that if Rivian ever comes back up in price, this area right here will act as increased selling pressure. Now, zooming out, let's put this on a weekly chart because we are in uncharted territory in Rivian. Take a look. The market now is trading at all-time lows. This is the bottom into the market for Rivian. We haven't received a lower price since this stock was traded on the exchange, which makes it all the more important for us to pay attention now to this level. Okay. So being that we have a couple hours, 8 hours and 30 minutes left on this current weekly bar, look at that. You can see that indication of weakness right there, closing on the low of the bar. You can only say, I suspect price to continue to go down, making all-time lows. And with that being said, I don't know how low it's going to go. We don't have any historic information seeing Rivian trade below the low that occurred here on the week of April 24th, 2023, which was around $11.68. That was the all-time low, even in pre-market now, $11.13. Elon Musk is right. They're not going to make it. Because when Tesla needed the cash, the stock in Tesla was going up. The market believed in Tesla. Well, I don't see Rivian getting that support. I don't see it. Not on the chart. Not on the chart. So I don't feel positive about Rivian stock. I don't. Outside of the slight chance that it will hold this buy zone right here that we've created. That can still happen. But looking at this on the weekly chart, looking at this on the 2 weeks, I think we have lower to go. And I just don't know how low it's going to go. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to simply place a prediction looking for Rivian to go lower in price. I don't know how low it's going to go. So that's up to you all to determine where it's going to go. You can use some other type of indicator, Fibonacci retracement, to determine, okay, where could we possibly see the market buyers hit this space? Because outside of that, I can't tell you. Okay. So go ahead and give me your thoughts as to where you suspect the market in Rivian will head. How low you think it's going to go before it hits a low. Make sure you maintain the profitability. And as always, trade different.